Hi angels, it's Hailey Reese. How are you guys today? For today's video, I am really excited because once again, we are going to be diving into yet another paranormal game. Talk about what the game is, how it's supposed to work, what's supposed to happen, and most of all, why you should never play it. Ever since I dove into different paranormal games here on my channel, it has been relatively highly requested that I dive into the Three Kings ritual, which is what we're going to dive into today. Now, the reason that I haven't covered this sooner, seen as it's been requested probably for the last 6 months, is because upon doing research into it, there was a little bit of blurred lines as far as what would occur if you successfully completed this ritual. I feel like I kind of have a good grasp on the whole game now. I feel like I kind of understand the principles of it and what is supposed to occur. So we're gonna dive right on into everything to do with the Three Kings ritual, how to play it, but most of all, why you should never play it, as well as diving into some people's experiences who have played it. Before I get into this ritual and this game though, I would very quickly like to remind you guys, or tell you guys for the first time, that if you're new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my content, I'm uploading every single day this month, both here and on my vlog channel, which is linked in my description. So if you guys enjoy my content or you want to see more of me this holiday season, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel and then also my vlog channel, Daily Hailey, which is in the description, only if you like me. But without further ado, let's just dive right on in because I'm so excited to share this with you guys and it is spooky nonetheless. So 6 years ago, a user by the name of Fable Forge posted to Reddit No Sleep, and I love Reddit No Sleep. I'm sure you guys know that if you are not new to my channel. And he basically posted about a specific ritual that allows you to access what is called the shadow side, called the Three Kings ritual. He titled this post, "Please don't actually try this." So you're probably wondering, what exactly is the shadow side? Well, the premise of the shadow side is that there exists a parallel reality that basically consists of solely mental and emotional energy. These energies are shaped by our dreams and our hopes, but also by our fears and our nightmares. So the goal of this is to access the shadow side, where yes, your dreams and your hopes appear, but so do your greatest fears and nightmares. To no surprise, following this post, thousands of people attempted the Three Kings ritual, each of them having different experiences, but more often than not, terrifying experiences. Most people report spending the entire experience in the middle of what they refer to most commonly as two evil spirits. There's a lot of really terrifying occurrences that have happened after he posted about this ritual and people attempted it. What's crazy about his post, which I'm going to read to you guys in just a few short seconds, is that he never actually specifies what occurs if you successfully complete the ritual, like what you're supposed to see or what the goal is. Like, for an example, when we talk about one man hide and seek, we're talking about that this doll is now possessed by an entity and is supposed to come find you, that type of a thing. We know the outcome of things like that, the rituals like that. We know that the Midnight Man, which I talked about previously, is supposed to chase you around the house if you complete the offering properly. But we don't know exactly what is supposed to happen if you complete the Three Kings ritual perfectly, which is super creepy. A lot of YouTubers have attempted this. I mean, all it takes is searching Three Kings ritual and there's no educational videos on it. It's solely either people reading his Reddit article or people attempting the ritual. So many people have attempted it. It has been so highly requested from you guys for me to talk about it. So I'm about to read you guys how he says you play this ritual, play this game, play this ritual, how you do this ritual and play this game. But I will advise you, much like he did, but I truly mean it, I would highly recommend do not try this at home. Wow, I just sounded like one of those TV shows from when I was a kid. These stunts are performed by trained professionals. Do not try this at home. No, but seriously, don't try it at home. Or anywhere, for that matter. Okay, let's just dive right on it. So like we said, he titled this Reddit No Sleep, "Please don't actually try this." And here's what he wrote. This is from 6 years ago. It was posted on July 10th, 2012 at 5:02 a.m. "Hey Reddit No Sleep, long time no see. I've been posting bits and pieces of my life here, but I find them a little boring and self-serving. So today, I'll post a recipe instead. This is not a creepypasta, at least not yet. What I'm about to share with you today is one of the many, relatively safe ways in which you can access, not quite enter, a place I call the shadow side. And its effectiveness depends on how seriously you take me. Your mileage may vary. Refer to the title. I won't tell you that you shouldn't be afraid of the shadow side. Chances are you've already seen it after all, and merely think it was just a reoccurring dream. I will tell you there is no need to be ignorantly afraid of it though. There is a difference. Ignorance fuels fear, and fear can give that place a lot of juice to run on. You have to be big on preparation if you want to try this. It's like skydiving. If getting it right on your first try is not something you're good at, then this is not for you. If you do drugs or alcohol the night of the event, you're going to have a bad time. If you're going through some serious issues in your life and you're not feeling mentally or spiritually stable, or if you're doing this just to escape, you're going to have a bad time. And if you don't follow my instructions, particularly the multiple backups I'll give you, which trust me, are there for a reason, you're going to have a really bad time. The name of this game is the Three Kings, by the way. Ingredients. A very large, empty, and quiet room, preferably without windows. If windows exist, you will need to cover them and ensure total darkness. Basements usually work well if they're roomy enough. A pack of candles. You'll only use one if all goes well, and a lighter. A bucket of water and a mug. A fan. 2 large mirrors, like the ones on your dresser. Don't worry, they won't be harmed, or if they are, it'd be the last of your concerns. 3 chairs, an alarm clock, an active cell phone, don't forget to charge the battery. A loved one willing to follow the rules and go along with all this madness, and a small toy or dear object from your childhood. Setup. Start setup at around 11 p.m. Place 1 chair in the center of the room facing north. This is important. Place the other 2 chairs exactly to the left and right facing your throne. The distance between your throne and that of your queen and the fool should be about a length of your arm to each side, more or less. Place 2 large mirrors on the queen and fool chairs right next to you, facing you and each other. Try your best to have them stand at a 90-degree angle, or else you may get more or less than 3 kings. If you sit your throne facing straight ahead, you should be able to perceive your own reflection in each of the 2 mirrors without having to actually turn your head, nor your eyes to do so. If you see your own reflection at the corner of your eye just barely there, you've done it right. Place the bucket of water and the mug in front of you, just barely out of reach. Place the fan behind you. Turn it on. Don't set it to maximum power. Medium or low is usually enough. Leave it on. Turn off the lights. Leave the door open and go to your bedroom. Set the candles by the side of the bed, next to the lighter, your alarm clock, and your cell phone. Leave it charging. Set your alarm clock for 3:30 a.m. Turn off the lights and sleep while holding your power object. Get some rest. Showtime. Wake up at 3:30 a.m. with your alarm clock. Turn it off, but don't turn on the light. You have exactly 3 minutes to light your candle, grab your cell phone, and make your way to the dark room to sit in your throne. You should be seated by 3:33 a.m. Don't forget your power object. Check for a potential red flag. If your cell phone didn't charge for whatever reason, abort the mission. If the alarm didn't go off at 3:30 a.m., abort the mission. If you find the dark room door closed, remember you left it open, abort the mission. If your fan is turned off, you left it on, abort the mission. Side note, if you have to abort the mission due to any of the above, leave the house with your loved one. Go to a hotel or something. There's no need to run. You have time to grab your jacket and your keys and whatnot, but leave. After 6 a.m., the coast should be clear. If all is going as planned, you can proceed and take your throne. Do not look directly at either of the 2 mirrors beside you. Do not let the candle go out. The fan is behind you. You must protect the candle with your body, which is standing in between. There's a reason for this, as you'll soon see. Look straight ahead at the darkness, not at the candle, not at the mirrors, just straight ahead. Eagle-eyed readers surely noticed I didn't say during setup which chair was queen and which chair was fool. That's because it's your job to find out. And from their point of view, you are either their queen or their fool, hence 3 kings. I won't spoil what happens next. Suffice to say, you won't be alone, and if you have questions, you'll get answers. Sometimes in the form of new questions, but hey, that's the story of humanity, eh? Just stay put and try not to move. Again, do not look directly at the mirrors nor the candle, just straight ahead. Trust me. Don't chicken out either. You need to wait until 4:34. By 4:34 a.m. it's all over. It's okay to tremble a bit, just try not to. Not because it affects the ritual. It's just a pussy thing to do while in polite company. Did I mention not to let the candle go out? That's what the fan is for. You're protecting the candle with your body. But if your body were to suddenly be moved, your fan would turn off the candle. That's backup number 1. Your loved one is backup number 2. At 4:34, she has to come to the room and call your name. If that won't work, she has to call your cell phone. If that won't work, she has the glass of water and the bucket. She can't touch you though. That's a newbie mistake. Backup number 3 is your item of power, the toy or locket or whatever object of strength you brought along for the ride. It'll show you the way if shit hits the fan. Multiple backups. You gotta be like a Boy Scout if you do these things. If you have to do it all the way so it won't work. Worst you can do is take it seriously enough for it to work and not seriously enough to be prepared for the consequences. If in doubt, refer to the title. And that is literally all he says. He doesn't share what you're going to be met with. He doesn't share what you're going to see. He doesn't share anything other than these strict set of rules. The fact that you're not allowed to touch the person doing it if they're in a trance makes me feel as though there's possession and it will be transferred. There is so much about this ritual that frightens me to my core. There are so many things about this that scream so unsafe. But I thought that I would read you guys little snippets of people's full experiences with this ritual. I found these snippets online and then they had the link to the original Reddit post, and I read the whole thing and I felt as though this specific website had properly condensed it to what would be most important. So I'm gonna read you guys these. The first is from Reddit user Throwaway Kings, and this is their experience. After a few moments of nothing happening, I hear something from the darkness towards the door. It's a faint singing in a language I can't understand, and the blackness turns into a mass of shadows that look like people. They're all marching from right to the left, like they're on a parade. And as they pass, I can't help but feel elated. After a couple of minutes of this going on, I noticed a second noise. From the chair to my right was the sound of someone writing something down. It was a scratchy sound too, like someone using one of those old quill pens. I wanted to ask what it was writing down, but I was too afraid of the answer to go through with it, especially when the room was full of moving shadows, even if they did look like they were rejoicing. The scribbling on my right ceased, and then a voice from the chair on my left spoke up. It said my name, and then started listing off every good deed I'd done in my life. Big, small, accidental, all of them. Even ones I'd done when I was a little boy and forgotten about it. And as the voice listed these things off, the writing on my right resumed. When my girlfriend called for me, both voices said goodbye. The shadows and the music faded away, and I heard the chairs scrape against the wood floor. So that was not a terrifying experience. It's just strange. And I wanted to include it because maybe it includes pieces of information as to what would happen. The next one is from Reddit user DP4Man. Out of the corner of my eye, the mirror to my right looked like there were water droplets falling down it, like the windshield of a car during a downpour. I felt a tear fall down my cheek. I'm not sure if it's because I was terrified or because of the sheer sadness that filled the room. From the corner of my eye, I noticed that the mirror on the left looked lighter somehow. The only way I know how to explain it is when you turn the brightness up too high on your computer screen. Terrified, I made sure to keep looking forward at the wall. The next thing I remember is getting splashed by an entire bucket of cold water. My safety person had called my name without a response, then called my cell phone several times with no answer, then eventually came in the room and brought me back to reality with the bucket of water. According to them, I was sitting straight ahead, with the candle clutched in my left hand, and my right hand in front of me at face level, like I was holding it against someone else's. So those are just 2 examples, and I made sure to go through and choose ones that weren't like something out of nightmares, but believe me, there are some. There are some where people feel as though they are literally sitting next to something that's like an angel and something that is literally like a devil. telling them these horrifying things, and they don't come out of it, and they get splashed with the water, and there's just a lot that goes on with this specific ritual. There are so many red flags about this ritual, you guys. I don't even feel like I necessarily need to dive into why it shouldn't be played, because the fact that there are so many specific rules and you can't look at anything and you can't be touched just speaks volumes as to the type of things that you're associating with and dealing with. Now, some people say that it's more of a subconscious mind thing, that you actually spiritually tap into your subconscious. That's why there's the good and the bad. It's kind of like the good angel and the bad devil on your shoulders, and they're basically telling you the good and the bad things, and you're tapping into your deepest insecurities and your deepest fears and your deepest hopes and your deepest, inspirations. And so that's kind of like a combination of all of that. But there's other people that believe you're tapping into a dimension that you want to be very careful with. I should note that when he says if the mirror were to break, that would be the least of your worries, 100%, because mirrors are portals to the other side. Spirits very often can come to mirrors. But when a mirror breaks, it's as though that thing has now been unleashed. So if you were to do a ceremony or a ritual like this and you're calling something into the mirrors and the mirror were to break, that would signify that this thing escaped. Overall, I would 1,000,000% never, as intriguing as it does sound, attempt a Three Kings ritual. And I truly, truly would advise anybody who's even considering or has considered to do this ritual to just avoid it altogether. If you're curious, read people's experiences online, but don't make yourself a guinea pig for something like this, because there may be people who have positive experiences, but you would hate to be that one that had a negative. Have any of you guys done a Three Kings ritual? Do you know anybody who has? And what are your thoughts on the ritual? Make sure you go ahead and drop your comments down below and let me know what you guys think. I think it's pretty obvious what I think, but I love to hear your guys' thoughts and theories, so make sure you drop your comments down below. And that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, but you do enjoy my videos, once again, just make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos, and I'm posting every single day for the whole month, so you don't want to miss out. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you guys.